Welcome to the Manders Mindset podcast. Here you'll find both monologue and interviews of entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, and a variety of other people, where your host Amanda Russo will discuss her own mindset and perspective and her guest mindset and perspective on the world around us. Manders and her guests will help explain to you how shifting your mindset will shift your life.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Manders Mindset. I am your host, Amanda Russo, and this is the 200th episode of Manders Mindset. Whether this is your first time listening to the podcast, you're a regular listener, or you are a previous guest, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. These past almost 3 years have meant the absolute world to me. I have learned so much, and I am so honored and grateful for all of the support I have received. Today's episode is with a guest that is very near and dear to my heart. We connected and met through the podcasting industry. There have been so many other beautiful souls that I have had the honor and the pleasure of meeting and connecting with through starting this journey. And in case no one said to you today, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for waking up today, getting out of bed, and showing up. Because sometimes that takes guts, and that's hard. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Manders Mindset, where we explore the power of shifting your mindset to shift your life. I'm your host, Amanda Russo, and I am so excited for who I am speaking with today. I am here with the one and only Amy Bolduc, and Amy is one of my dearest, closest friends who I love so much, and she absolutely inspires me. She is also a fellow podcast host. She hosts the podcast Grounded in Maine, and she has been hosting that for about 4 years now, which is crazy. As a podcast host myself, I know a lot goes into this. So super, super proud of you. Kudos to you for that. And thank you. Thank you so much for finally joining me on Manders Mindset. I appreciate you being here.
My goodness. Well, thank you. You invited me, and it's episode 200, which is, I'm so honored. I'm so honored that you invited me for this one. And the one and only Amy Bolduc. No pressure. No pressure there.
You are the one and only.
The only Amy Bolduc that I'm aware of, but the one and only. That sounds fancy.
You are fancy, Amy. And Amy and I actually first connected through the New England Podcasters group. And I found out that even existed from the lovely Amy when she asked me, why haven't you gone to this?
I can't remember how I learned that you were from Massachusetts. And I was like, Massachusetts is part of New England, so you should be part of the New England Podcasters group, which was we're about to celebrate the 2-year anniversary. And so that was the first in person, was May 2 years ago. I feel like that was the one that you came to.
That was the first in person? I thought
May was the first one. And then whenever you showed up, but we only started it in March. And there were 2 Zoom calls, March, April, and then
I think I went to the first one in June because it was 2024. And in May, I was in Bali. And then it was like, there was the month after that I went.
And then I went one more month before I moved. So we had that one moment in person. Like I had never met you until then, like in person, and like had an actual conversation with you. And we've been talking about the fact that we've known each other for 2+ years and don't really have a picture together.
Amy, that doesn't make you any less important to me.
Oh, no.
We're going to make up for it when I see you in person next.
Yes, we are.
So, I'm curious, who would you say Amy is at the core?
Amy is a lot of things in the core. At the core. I am super, super insecure, but I am also very friendly, and I am a supporter, and I'm kind, and I'm caring. That's what I got. And I started with insecure.
Would you say you've always embodied these qualities? Oh, mostly?
I think so.
Can you tell me a little bit about upbringing, your childhood, family dynamic?
Sure.
Any siblings?
Yeah. So we were saying before we hit record that I don't remember a lot of my childhood. It was not awesome. But I have one sister. She right now lives an hour from me, but I'm moving in 3 days. So not for long. And she's only lived there since December, and it's now April. So 4 months we've lived close to each other. And that's the closest we've lived together for 35 years. But so our parents split up when I was 5. They divorced. My dad actually took us in the middle of the night while she was working an overnight shift. And great. It was not great. It destroyed my mom. And then he ended up getting custody of us. So I'm not even gonna say we were raised by our dad. He had other wives for that. So he is a narcissist, and he used us as play pieces to win games, win things. So he won custody of us, and he didn't really care about us. My dad is on his 5th marriage, and I have not talked to my dad since 2019. And my mom passed away in 2016. So it's me and my sister and my aunts. And so I just got divorced in 2024. And when I changed my name, the divorce, I changed it back. I changed it to my mom's maiden name, not my maiden, because I didn't want to be connected with that.
Now, you said your dad took you and your sister in the middle of the night.
My mom was working at Dunkin' Donuts overnight shift, and we left in the middle of the night.
Do you remember any of that experience, like leaving the house or no?
I vaguely remember leaving the house, but I know that we went to my grandmother's house. That's it.
Mm-hmm. No,
I know that he had me testify against my mom in the divorce hearing. I don't remember that. My grandmother told me that.
Oh, wow. Do you remember approximately how long it was after he took you guys till you saw your mom again?
I don't. I mean, I don't. She lived in the town next door. We saw her every other weekend, like most children of divorce, I guess. But she remarried a man who's much older than her. He was 18 years older than her. And he was kind of a creep. He was like a dirty old man. And I was like 11, 8, I forget. I just know that growing up with him around was very uncomfortable. So I didn't really like being there.
And was she married to him the rest of her life?
She was married to him the rest of his life.
Right.
But I mean, I think he died in 2009, sorry. And then she died in 2016. It wasn't a long time, but it was hard for her.
Now, you said you didn't like being there being around him.
I didn't like being around him at all. pornography all around the house, and he was a creep. And like, growing up and puberty and growth and all that stuff, very awkward. And they were like super smokers, like they smoked like chimneys, and so it was smelly, and my clothes smelled. I'm a singer, and so I knew that was bad.
And they smoked inside the house?
Yeah.
You said your dad went through a lot of wives. Did you like any of the women he married?
I liked his fourth wife, but I was an adult then, so it was more like almost like a peer, not like a mother figure.
Do you probably don't remember because you were so young, but like approximately how long after this separation your dad had a new wife? If you're loving these conversations and want to dive even deeper into mindfulness and transformation, make sure you check out my other podcast, Breathwork Magic. It's all about the power of the breath to unlock your potential. I'd love to have you there.
I have no idea. I don't remember. I don't remember how old I was. I don't remember. I feel like they were married for like 7 years, so maybe it was soon after the divorce. Oh,
Now, is your sister older or younger than you?
she's younger. She's turning 50 this year.
Now, did all this divide between your parents affect your relationship with your sister at all?
Yes. Yes. So my dad's second wife was a Mormon, and so we all joined the Mormon church. And I decided at one point that I needed to be a good girl to not have bad things happen. And so I was all in on being a Mormon. I wanted to be the best person that I could. Church, you're a person, everything works out great for you. And his third wife, well, so his second wife, I'm unclear on it. I hear things from my sister who remembers everything so clearly. I don't know. But apparently we were hit. And then the third wife was a little crazy. And she just said mean things, required the house to be super clean and stuff like that. And my sister was a teenager and got into some trouble, and they kicked her out of the house. And I didn't see her for years. She was a teenager, and I didn't see her until she came out in like the early 2000s. So, she graduated high school in 94. And so 1994, so it was years, probably between 8 and 10 years I didn't see her. Because as soon as she graduated high school, she left the state. And she was in Florida, and so I went to see her in Florida after. I don't remember any of this. She told me a few years ago.
They kicked her out of the house. Was that before she graduated high school?
Yeah. Yeah. She was living with my grandmother, but I didn't see her. I think, she just wasn't around when we had family events.
So did that put a strain on your relationship with her?
We didn't speak for many years, but I didn't know why. Yeah. But we're fine now. Thank goodness, because without parents, who do you have?
I get it.
And I know some people, when their parent passes, when someone passes away, things get really, they can either go really badly or go really well. Like siblings will either like be on the same side, or they'll split up and not speak, or just have a lot of bad feelings between them. But my sister and I we were strong. We're strong.
That's good. Now, when your parents got divorced, you mentioned your dad took you. So, like, will you still go into the same school afterwards, or did that change as well?
We moved back and forth between two towns, so we switched schools a lot, depending on who he was married to. We were going to one school, and then when he remarried or when we moved to my grandmother's, I mean, I was 5 years old. I had barely started school, and my sister was in school at that point. But depending on who he was married to and where we were living, we switched. It was really between two schools or two towns.
Were you good at school once you were like in school?
No, I was terrible at school. I went for chorus. That was my reason for going. That's where I really did well. But I mean, I enjoyed school. I just my brain did not absorb information. I loved history class, but I failed every test. I didn't fail. I did really poorly. I loved reading and writing. I tested really badly. So I didn't have awesome grades. I didn't go to college because I couldn't get financial aid. I didn't even know that was a thing. Nobody told me that. So I wanted to go to music school. I couldn't even afford the application fee. So I didn't go to college.
So when you graduated high school, what did you do from there?
Well, I was a good Mormon. And what Mormons do is get married and have kids. And so I moved to Utah to go find a husband. And I ran out of money, and I moved back after a year without a husband. I was a failure as a Mormon, but it was okay.
What else did you do in Utah when you were there for a year?
Oh my gosh. It was the most fun I've ever had. I went to so many concerts. I went to lots of concerts. I didn't have a car. I worked two jobs. I made $4 an hour. Isn't that insane? I made $4 an hour in 1993.
Wow.
So I worked two jobs and paid rent. And then I moved back.
And so you weren't able to find a husband. So then you moved back to Maine.
Yeah.
And when you came back, what was your step from there?
I just found a job and I was working. And then I found another job.
Doing what?
Literally, I moved back in June 1994. I started a job in July, and I worked at that job until I met my now ex-husband, and then I switched jobs. So it was 13 years I was at the same place.
What was that job doing?
It was a hotel, and I started in housekeeping, and then I worked at the front desk.
How did you enjoy that?
I loved it. I loved it all. I mean, I got to meet really cool people. It was very satisfying to clean rooms. I don't clean anymore. I don't like it. But I mean, I was a kid. And then I begged for the opportunity to work at the front desk. Like, who knows the rooms better than the person that's cleaning them? Like, to be able to sell them to people. And I did really well at that.
So why'd you leave after 13 years?
Because my schedule was not regular and he wanted to see me more.
What do you mean it wasn't regular?
I was working all different shifts. I was working overnights. I was working afternoons and mornings, weekends.
So like it wasn't consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
I mean, even besides relationship, that's tough for you to like live.
Yeah, it was fine for me.
Amy, even now with podcasting, you can't schedule much if you don't know the work schedule.
Yeah, true.
You don't agree?
No, I agree. No, totally. I am down with a regular schedule, but then I was in my early 30s and I was like, it worked. It worked. I always had income. and because I would do any shift, I could fill in and I had security. And that's all I wanted.
I get it. So you left the hotel, and where'd you go from there?
Oh gosh. I left there and I worked for my eye doctor. Don't recommend. It was awful. I mean, it was fine, but I don't care about eyes. I don't care about eyes. I want somebody else to take care.
So is that why it was awful? Because you didn't care about eyes?
Yeah, there was zero heart in it. So I just did that for one year. So
that's not a long time.
It's not a long time. No, but then I found a job that had normal hours, like really normal hours, no weekends, and it paid more. And I was there for 12 years. It was home health care. I was in the office scheduling.
Did you like that more?
I really liked it. I learned a lot. And I really, really gained appreciation and a real love for the elder generations and respect for caregivers who do this. Because that can't be easy.
No, you said you did that for 12 years. So what made you transition out of that?
A car accident. I was in a car accident and I was out of work for 4 months. And my boss didn't hold my job. So I had to find another job. And that was right at COVID. So things were a little rocky for a bit, but we all could.
That's tough.
I mean, it was not my favorite job. Toward the end, I really did not love it, but I did make some connections and I learned a lot and I'm better for it. So I wanted to leave. I wasn't going to, but the car accident kind of.
I think that sometimes happens in life, whatever it is that, whether it's a job, a place, an experience like that, we're not meant to have anymore. It'll be removed if we ain't going to remove it.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of my personality. Like I am that person who will stay in something that's comfortable, even though I don't love it, because it's comfortable, or familiar. That's me. I would do that until something stops me from doing it. And that was, I could have used an easier transition, but it worked out. It worked out for the best.
Did it take you a while to find a new job post that?
I was scared it really would. I mean, I didn't find a job during COVID. Oh my gosh, the worst job I've ever had came at COVID because, there were no jobs out there because everything was shut down. But I got this like temp job registering people for unemployment during COVID. I have never cried so much in my entire life at that point until that job. It was awful. It was awful. And it was, I made like $5 less per hour. And it was like the phone hangs up and you have 30 seconds before the next call comes in. Like that's when you get to pee, take a drink, eat, whatever. Like you have 30 seconds. And if you are not picking up that phone, you're in trouble. But like every single person was having trouble registering for unemployment because of some computer glitch. And I had to say, oh, I'm really sorry. Maybe tomorrow it'll be better. It was so bad. People were like, I just lost my house. I'm living in my car and I'm supposed to not cry and I'm supposed to not like feel horrible because the next call is coming in. It was the worst job I've ever had. That was hard. That was a hard job.
That sounds awful. Did you do that remotely?
I did it remotely, yeah. But I mean, I had a job.
Working for unemployment, you're getting less money.
Yeah. And taking on all the empathy, like it was in overdrive during then. And it was just like the stress that I felt from that job was not worth the money, but I'm glad I had a job. I did get to help some people, just very few.
How long did you do that?
April to November. I cried every single day. Every single day.
Amy,
It was bad.
why'd you stick with that?
Because there are no other jobs.
You could have gotten unemployment.
Oh, I don't understand unemployment. Like, I was on unemployment for 3 months. 3 weeks. Sorry. 3 weeks. And I never really understood unemployment. I never really understood health insurance. I didn't go to the doctor, even though I had full coverage. Nobody taught me about that stuff. So I didn't take advantage. And unemployment was not going well for a lot of people during COVID. I took those phone calls. I did not want to be unemployed. And then, I mean, if you leave a job, you don't get unemployment, right?
No,
I didn't want to find out the hard way that I was not going to get paid. So I just stuck with it.
Oh,
Awful. It was awful.
You leave there in November.
Yeah, something happened. I mean, I had a really bad boss and something snapped with me. I had applied for a temp agency. And so I worked for some temp jobs remotely for, I don't remember. It's all blurry now, but it was a couple years where during COVID, I worked more jobs than I have in my entire life. It was very stressful, but I was only out of work for 3 weeks the whole time. I worked for the overhead company for a grocery store that I shopped at for a few months. And then I left because I had a sure thing with somebody that opened up a store focused on Maine, because I grounded in Maine. I'm from Maine products, so Maine produce and Maine made items and stuff like that. And so I was going as what was my title? Rental and community manager. It was not really that, but that was my title. And it was not a real, and it ran out after. So I started that in February, and then she ran out of funding because it was a grant. She ran out of funding in August. And then I was out of a job again. But I just went back to the temp agency and they found me some stuff. And then I ended up with the place where I am right now, which is a healthcare company. I temped for 6 months and then they hired me.
No, temp agencies, is that something you'd recommend?
Sure. I mean, I'd never done it before, but I was like, I don't feel comfortable not having a job, so I'll do whatever. And then because it was during COVID times, everything was remote. I was already working remote, so I was down with that.
How was the temp agency different than just you looking for a job yourself, like on Indeed or whatever?
I did not have... So, I mean, I started out this conversation saying I'm insecure. I don't have great self-esteem. And so when I was looking for a job, I was like, people are like, oh, you can totally just like embellish or whatever. I'm like, I don't know if I can do anything. I don't know if I can live up to that. Like, what if I can't live up to that? And they're like, you're just a fraud. And then they fire me. And then when am I going to get another job? Like, these are the things that go through my head when I'm thinking of, and I even still today, like if I'm looking for a job, I'm going to be like, I don't know that I would even apply for the same job that I have right now. Because do I actually have those skills? I don't know. People are like, all these things that you've done in the past, like what do you call them? Like, how did they all add up to skills? And I'm like, but they don't have titles. It's not like I have a secretary certificate or anything like that. Like, I just did stuff. Who's going to be like, so you did stuff? Like, what kind of certifications? Yeah, I don't have any certifications. I got nothing to show for it. So
I mean, I don't think the certifications mean that you have experience.
Yeah. I know it's in my head. I can't. I have nothing to show for it. I have things that I've done, but how do they qualify as value, I guess? Yeah. I have a job. I'm not worried right now. I'm worried, but I have a job. Oh gosh, I'm gonna cry.
I hold space for it all. You can laugh and you can cry, Amy. It's all good. It's all good. You can feel all the feels.
Oh, I'm feeling all the feels. So anyway, finding a job is hard. And so temp agency they give me a little, I don't know, they do the looking for me. I don't have to put myself out as much because it's hard.
And did you still have to provide them with your resume, or did they help
sure.
you edit it?
I mean, I just sent them my resume and they're like, oh, okay, so you do office stuff. So we'll find you office jobs. That works. I knew nothing. I knew nothing. And I was scared that I wasn't going to find a job. And then I just checked with them.
I want to transition a tab.
Yes.
When did you become interested in sustainability?
I feel like I always have, but I didn't really have a voice. I didn't, I mean, this whole like low self-esteem thing, like who cares what I have to say? I mean, but when we were growing up, we always recycled and we always cooked at home. And so it was always just sort of a thing. And then if we're talking about the podcast, so I actually, before I started the podcast, I was going to start a YouTube channel with a friend of mine, and it was going to be about homesteading because we both were very curious about that. And then we were going to talk to different homesteaders and learn different skills from them, take them home and try them out and then report back how well it went. Like, is this something that you can take on? Is this something that is just like way too much? And then report back. And then my friend kind of dropped off and I was like, I am not talking to a screen on my own. I'm not going to do a YouTube channel. And so I was like, okay, podcast it is. And then in doing research, I joined a bunch of homesteading Facebook pages and they were mean, like super exclusive. And like, if you have a cell phone, you're not a real homesteader. You're not, if you don't have so much land or, there's just like so many qualifications, which felt really weird. But I was like, yeah, I don't want to be part of that. And so I moved away from homesteading. I was like, I'm very curious about sustainability, like recycling, composting, gardening, all that stuff. And I was also, so for the last maybe 25 years, I've had this dream of like having a homestead with friends. And the whole time I was married, he was not interested in that. So I was like, maybe it won't happen. But like I've always cooked and baked and gardened and like preserved food and stuff like that. And so I was like, I can do all those things, but they're way more fun with somebody else. So I know that there are things that I can't do, like building, construction, electric, stuff like that. You don't want me anywhere near that stuff, but I can do the things that I can do. So if we like partnered up with other people and share and teach each other, I thought that would be really cool. And so I've always wanted to do that. And so because homesteading felt really bad for me after meeting those people on Facebook, we'll just do sustainability. So sustainability it is.
How else has sustainability been a part of your life?
Well, I mean, so like I said, gardening and cooking and stuff like that. Before I started the podcast, so the friend that I was going to start the YouTube channel with, we were volunteer gardeners at a local farm that grew organic produce just to donate to the food banks so that the food insecure people would have fresh food to eat along with the shelf stable, because it all matters. And so that's how I met her. And we were just, we were gardening and we were weeding the garlic or something and just talking about how cool it would be to start a YouTube channel. We did that. And I've always, from No, I can't even say my entire adulthood. For many years, I gardened. When I met my husband then, because I didn't make lots of money and he had his own business, and so he made a lot of money, or he made money. I felt like I wasn't pulling my weight. And so I was like, if I garden and I grow food, it's almost like making money. It's going to cost us less to buy food. So that's my offering. And so I gardened, and as I was doing that, I learned to, so I would like can relishes and pickles and beets and stuff like that. And then I eventually started making jam. And then I started a business after my car accident, a jam business. But so, I always was, I don't like buying new clothes. And so I would shop at the thrift store. And even with my jam business, like I would use old boxes to ship jam. I wouldn't buy brand new boxes so that everything was perfect. I was like, you know what? I care about the earth. And so I'm going to reuse this instead of adding new. And so now, like in the last 2 years since I moved, and so I enjoy shopping at like refill stores. I think they're the coolest people on earth besides podcasters. But refill stores have really great employees and people working there. They're just awesome people. And so I really enjoyed that. There is not one where I live now. So I started making stuff. So now I make my own laundry soap, and I make my own lip balm and my own, like a sort of a lotion balm type of thing and stuff like that.
Do you sell the stuff that you make? This lip balm?
No.
Why?
I tried, but people where I live are not interested.
You should be selling this online. People would buy that.
Yeah, maybe when I get settled somewhere, I will do that. I will. I just it was my first try. I did also beeswax wraps and beeswax candles and stuff like that. I mean, it's like actually fun for me to make my own stuff and be able to say, this, I know exactly what's in this.
I get that. Now, I'm curious, and I'm transitioning a tad, but you had mentioned you and a friend were going to start a YouTube channel, and that friend kind of fell off with starting the YouTube channel. And you mentioned more than once tonight that you consider yourself insecure. Did you have any hesitation?
Oh, yeah. I talked about it for 2 years. I talked about it for 2 years before I did anything.
Before you pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, it was probably during COVID when we came up with this. And then 2022, early in the year, a friend of my sister-in-law knows people that had a podcast, and they were hosting a retreat, podcast away. That's it, in Orlando. And I was like, Orlando, like Florida is where COVID is like the most prominent. You want me to go to Florida to learn how to podcast? Yeah, because they were having the outbreaks like crazy. But so they were doing it in Florida, and I was like, I can't. Like, I'm working temp jobs, and I am not making a lot of money, and all the excuses. And then he said, I will fly you there using my points. I've got extra points. I will pay for your flight there. You just have to pay for the retreat. That's just, it's too big to say no to. I felt like that would be a real insult to say, yeah, thanks. That's really nice, but no. So that's another one of those things where I will just say, I will keep on the same path unless something gets in my way. And so that was the thing that yeah. And that was just 3 days. So I was 3 days with them. And so that was March of 22, and then June of 22.
Wow.
Yeah. And I must have recorded episode 1 or the trailer 8 times, because I was like, that does not sound, I don't like the way that sounds. Like, I'm not making sense. No one's going to want to listen to that. And I was like, it's not going to get better. I can keep saying it and it's not going to sound different. So I'm just going to put it out.
Oh my gosh. Do you feel that podcasting retreat helped you be prepared to launch the podcast?
100%. Yes. Yeah. Because I would still be talking about it probably today if I had not been put in that place. Yeah.
Wow. And now we're in 2026 recording this. So that was 4 years ago. What has helped you keep with it?
The consistency is it for me. I know exactly when my podcast drops. I know that I need to have a conversation, and I know I'm better at organizing my time if I have things in it. Does that make sense? Like, because if I don't, I'm sort of like freewheeling and nothing gets done because I will spin my wheels thinking about a million things. But here I'm like, I have a focus. I have to get this done. And as a podcast consumer, consistency is everything for me. And so it also helps me as a host to know that I have a deadline. I've got things that I need to do, something that needs to get done. And yeah.
So what would you say has been your favorite part of podcasting? That's probably tough. I know. Been 4 years.
It's definitely the people. I mean, the people that I've gotten to talk to, the people that I've met in community, the New England podcasters community they've become my family. For real. I mean, just like accepting me no matter what and letting me zoom in while I'm living in Virginia, while you guys are in Massachusetts and everywhere else. It's so, so nice. And just, but then also the conversations that I get to have, the super cool people that I get to talk to every single week and learn from, and different. I love stories. I love stories. Someone telling me how they were, just like me. And then something happened where they had to say, oh, a mindset shift. This can't stay the way that it is. I need to make a change. Or I need to do something about that. And so I love that story because I feel like we all have that story, and to be able to get to share that, to give people the platform to be able to share that. Because I know that there are some podcasters that are like, I only talk to people that are making six figures, but you're leaving out all these people that have stories to share and are just as valuable, but they are not heard because they don't make money. And I guess that's a chip on my shoulder. I have a voice and I don't make money, but here I am talking. And I feel like someone needs to listen to them, to those people. Someone needs to listen to me.
And they will. And
you're getting an earful, you guys. All the things you never wanted to know about Amy Bolduc.
No, it's all the things they did want to know.
Sorry, and you're welcome.
So now that you reference mindset shift, what would you say has been your biggest mindset shift?
For me, it's do it anyway. Whatever is going through my mind, just like do it anyway. And that's something that has always been, it's always been scary for me. Like, I am a person who I want to know my next step before I make it. And I'm learning that life doesn't work like that always. So you just have to do it. You have to take the step or take the chance. And I don't know, hope the universe catches you.
I like that. Now, might be a similar-ish question, but it's kind of different. I ask basically every guest this, and I'm sure you've had multiples. What would you consider the biggest aha you've had in your life thus far to be?
In my life, there are a couple maybe, but one of them is the like learning that you need to do it anyway or do it scared. But another one is that people care. I mean, I've literally gone through my whole life thinking, and I hope I don't cry doing this, but like, I don't matter. and I don't have a voice. And then if somebody says, so Don, I love you so much, because when I was talking and spinning my wheels about, I'm going to start a podcast for 2 years, he was like, I'm going to just like, it's literally not going to cost me anything, but it has also given me everything. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to give me his points, but if he hadn't, none of this would have happened. So, me saying I don't matter in my head, and then having someone do something so nice. And it happens that way. Some people just surprise you. Like you and I, we met once. We met once in June. And here we are at your 200th episode, and me spilling my guts. I would not have expected that, but you care. And I think you see me, and I didn't see me. So it's just stuff like that. Like, I'm like just on my path and doing, I know, same. I'm just
crying
doing
now
my
too.
thing, and in my little zone of like, I don't matter. And then someone will just like put out this like red carpet, or just like send me something that's so kind. And I'm just like, how do you even see me? And so just, reminders of stuff like that, where people are like just so kind. I love nice people.
Yeah, a lot of people do care. And I think a lot of us often don't realize that. Even if we don't have in our head that we don't matter, like I think a lot of us don't realize that how much other people do care.
And I think that sometimes it's someone maybe going over the top with their kindness that actually gets my attention, because I think that I'm just in this zone, and I can't see anyone. I'm like, nobody cares. And I'm just like, I'm on my own. And then someone does something that's so nice, and I'm just like, oh, gosh, I'm really here. Like, this person is so kind that it's like beating me on the head. Like, look at me, I'm being nice. So that's just, it's more of an awareness for me, that I'm being more aware of that and open to it, and not like nobody cares. But so I mentioned that I wanted to go to music school. I wanted to be a singer. I stopped singing. Like, I stopped singing soon after I got married. So like 2012, maybe. This anxiety came over me, where I was like, and this is really like it's following the same sort of thing, that like, if I suck at singing and my friends say that was really great, what's in my head is they're lying. They're lying to be nice. And so if someone says, that sounds really good, I'm like, nah, like I can't trust that. And so I stopped singing, because I can sing in front of an arena or something where I don't know anybody, or I can't see anyone. But if I know someone is there, if I know somebody who's there, I can't, because I'm afraid that they will either say, wow, that was really bad, or say it was really, really good. And I don't trust that. So I don't trust myself, and I don't trust others. I have a trust problem. But then I trust people too much sometimes. And it's I don't understand that. But just, I don't sing in front of people that I know anymore, because I don't trust myself trusting them. That's a weird thing.
Oh, Amy. I really just want to hug you right now. I wish you were closer to me.
I want to hug you too.
So I want to transition a tad again. Sure. And you've done this with me, so I'm curious. You've done breathwork with me before. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to know your thoughts on who you think or would recommend breathwork for.
I would recommend breathwork for someone who, I want to say, has a hard time focusing, or knows that they have the wrong focus, but are not quite sure what path to take. Because I know, I mean, at least that was it for me. When I started doing breath work with you, I feel like I was pretty lost and I needed a path. And it's not like it gave me the straight path that I needed, but it did bring some awareness and some focus. It's just really interesting because it's almost like, for me, it was almost like a blackout. I don't know. I don't think I lost consciousness, but like it was a very different consciousness. I didn't lose consciousness. I found a different consciousness. Oh, it is late and my brain, I might not be making sense. It was a connection to myself that I didn't have before. And so for someone else who might be needing that, someone that might feel a little bit lost, someone that needs a little clarity, someone that doesn't stop to breathe. Like we just go and don't think about, we don't think, we don't notice. We're just on autopilot.
That's true. What would you say it's helped you with the most?
I mean, like I said, it's just a different sort of consciousness. And I'm going to say awareness again. It's just, I had thoughts come into my head that I had not had before. It was interesting that thoughts were coming and I wasn't thinking. Because that's usually how that works. For me, I have to have a purpose and something in mind and then work on that. And then thoughts came in that I did not expect.
Is there anyone you wouldn't recommend breath work for?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel, what would it hurt? What would it hurt to try? I don't know. Maybe someone who has it completely together would learn something, So I don't want to say no, somebody shouldn't. I don't know what their journey is.
I get that. So from here, what's next for you? You've been podcasting for 4 years. Where's the podcast
for 4 years?
Where is it going from here? Where do you see it in the next 2 years?
I don't know. I mean, it would be pretty cool if somebody wanted to sponsor my podcast. Just saying, if anybody's interested.
Wait, nudge.
Grounded in Maine. We're talking about sustainability if you want to sponsor. But I've also had another podcast idea. I don't know. A music podcast. But I need a co-host and I don't have that yet. Because I don't want to do all the work.
You will figure that out, or you'll find one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I want to transition a tad one more time. I know you went through a big physical transition where you made a physical move.
I did.
You were grounded in Maine on the podcast and physically in Maine, and you left Maine and went to Virginia.
Yes. Yeah. After my divorce as a single person, it was too expensive. My situation was not ideal for staying in. I mean, I got the dog, the cats, and the chickens, and it's not like I can just find a place to rent anywhere with that brood. And so I ended up buying a house in Virginia, very southern, rural Virginia. Yeah, I did that. And it's over. It's over this week.
Oh, what made you choose Virginia?
Virginia was far from my life. It was a state that I could keep my job with, because not every state works that way. I don't understand it. I think it's a tax thing. So Virginia was a state that I could move to for work, and I was like, if I'm going to move somewhere, I want a longer growing season. If I have that choice, I want a long. So Virginia it was. Florida was not an option. I don't want to be in Florida. No, too hot. But so Virginia it was. It was very random. It was so hard. Like at that point when I was going through my divorce, I was like, my brain was functioning. And so, people are like, you have the whole world open to you. You could move anywhere. That paralyzed me. I could move anywhere. Where would I even go? Where would I even go? For real. I choose from anywhere. Is it like just like point at a map with your eyes closed? I did not have that much faith in myself, and it was too many options. So Virginia out of the option.
But Virginia wasn't it.
Virginia wasn't it. Another one of the things that I was thinking of, was choosing Virginia. This is Southern Virginia. I'm like 10, 15 minutes from North Carolina line. There were like 4 podcast friends in North Carolina. So I was like, at least that, I'll have podcaster friends close by. And that didn't last. So I won't do this again. I will not move somewhere to be close to somebody else on purpose, because that backfired on me big time. So I'm in Virginia, but I'm leaving this week to go back to Maine for who knows how long.
Was it difficult realizing that you weren't meant to be where you...
Gosh, yes. Oh, it was so hard. It was so hard because, during my little rant about singing, I don't trust myself and I don't trust other people, but I was like, I literally can't make good decisions. I chose this place that was so wrong for me, and now I'm stuck. And even still, I'm moving, but my house hasn't sold. My house is still on the market, and I'm just going to take a financial hit. So it was so hard. It was so hard. And then like nobody buying my house. I've been wanting to move for almost a year.
Did anything help you with like accepting that you're not where you're meant to be?
No.
I guess. It might not have.
No,
there doesn't have to be a yes. I said did anything.
Yeah, not necessarily. At first it was just a like really down on myself. Like I can't make good decisions. I literally can't make good decisions for the life to save my life. And then, just telling people about this, I'm like, it's just not meant for me. I don't belong here. And that was a mistake. But it's a big mistake. It's a big, costly, heartbreaking mistake. But I will live. I'm going to live to tell about it. And maybe it'll be better. Maybe everything will be better. We'll see.
That could be. You could have learned a lesson while you, like even one that you don't necessarily know that you learned. You know what I mean? Could have been a small one.
Right.
It could have been something random that somebody said to you while you were down there that will shift you for the future, Yep.
Yeah. It's sort of really shifted me into thinking about possibly running for some office. Small office. But getting involved. And I thought about it years ago, but this is like taught me that people need to fight for people that they care about.
Governor Bolduc. Okay.
Oh no, not go. No. Something.
Then
Town
what?
council, something like that. No, not big.
You consider a governor too big?
Yes.
Okay. Noted.
The governor. I don't want to be that. Well, not everyone. People either love you or hate you, and I don't want people hating me.
They might hate you as town council.
They might. But who am I? Town council?
It doesn't matter that much.
I want to have a voice. It does not have to be the voice of an entire state.
Okay.
Probably better not. I feel like lower in rank is like it's more powerful. You have more connection with the people. Maybe. We'll see.
I get that.
I'm not there yet. But this has given me there's not a lot of representation. Just say that. Not a lot of representation.
Fair enough. Well, Amy, I enjoyed this. Thank you. Thank you for speaking with me on this fun late night.
Thanks for making it happen. Thank you for asking me.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for saying yes. I appreciate that so
Episode
much.
200. Boop.
I know. And y'all, my own mother declined joining me for the episode. Yeah. Then I was like, Amy, this lady won't fucking come on the show with me.
This
And then I'm
lady.
like, I sent Amy a voice note complaining. And then I was like, wait a minute. Oh my God. You were almost near 200. You should chat with me.
Yep.
Here we are.
I am almost at 200. I'm episode, 195 this week?
Yes, exciting.
For someone who didn't have a voice. Yeah.
4 years of podcasting would say otherwise.
True story.
So you probably know, since you tune into the podcast, that I'm going to ask you these questions, whether you want to answer them or not. But you know who Jay Shetty is?
I do.
And you know these questions that I'm going to ask you?
I don't remember them word for word, but yes.
That's okay. He's got 2 segments that he ends the podcast with. First segment is the many sides to us, and there's 5 questions, and you need to answer them in 1 word each. Okay?
Do my best, yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
What is 1 word someone who is meeting you for the first time would use to describe you as?
Shy?
What is 1 word someone who knows you extremely well would use to describe you as?
Kind.
What is 1 word you'd use to describe yourself?
Learning.
What is 1 word that if someone didn't like you or agree with your mindset would use to describe you as?
Snob?
What is 1 word you're trying to embody right now?
Self-love. It's technically hyphenated.
I've had a guest say that to me before.
Yeah, you've had 2.
It's not everything. You can't put a hyphen in between stuff and just make it 1 word, but it's fine. Second segment is the final.
It really is hyphenated.
Second segment is the final 5. These can be answered in a sentence. Okay? Are you ready?
Ready?
What is the best advice you've heard or received?
You don't have to know everything to start.
Why is that the best?
Because if you wait until you know everything, it'll never happen. And it has made all the difference for me.
It'll never happen. I agree.
Or it might never happen, I guess. But either way, that's why it's good.
But that's actually why it's the best. What is the worst advice you've ever heard or received?
Ooh, well, I don't really know. I've definitely been given bad advice no, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I maybe should have planned that.
Amy, I've got all night. Oh, wait.
I mean, what's coming to mind is that you need to be married. You need to be married. I guess I'm like, that's what's coming to mind. It's not what I was thinking, but you need to be married to have a full life.
Why is that the worst advice?
This is definitely not true.
Fair enough. See, you had an answer.
I have an answer. It's not what I was thinking you were looking for, or not really.
There's not a certain thing I'm
not really.
I'm not looking for any
feeling.
particular thing. I ain't looking for any particular thing.
It's not really what I was feeling, but it was the only thing that came to my head.
That's what your soul felt like
Yeah.
sharing. Okay, number 3. What is something that you used to value that you no longer value?
Ellie, what doesn't hold value? Shoot. I mean, for me, it's money. Money does not hold value. Money. I mean, it's a tool. I don't like it.
If
And it's
you
not
could,
something that I used to value. I've just never, so it's probably not the best answer, but that's what I have.
if you could describe what you would want your legacy to be as if someone was reading it, what would you want it to say?
That I use my life to validate others, I guess. Words are not coming out right, but something like that. Using my experience to validate others. Vulnerability, teaching with vulnerability. That's a lot of words, but
If you could create one law in the world that everyone had to follow, what would it be? And I want to know why.
I mean, the state of the world right now, not to be political, but just like treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't treat someone like they are worth less. We all like, ugh, yeah, we're all human. We're all human. Treat people like human beings. We're not like, we don't have less value. Mm, something like that.
Why would that be the law?
Because it feels like that would solve a lot of problems. It just does for me. Everyone has value, and to treat people like they don't is just not cool. It's just not cool.
I get it. Well, thank you so much, Amy. I really appreciate it.
Happy to be here. And gosh, I get to talk to your face. It's been a while.
Oh, Amy. It has. Amy gets a lot of voice notes from me, but she doesn't always see my face. So it's different than just hearing my voice. I get that. And I will link Amy's podcast in the show notes for you guys to check her out over on Grounded in Maine. And no pressure if you've got nothing, but I do like to always give it back to the guest if there's anything else you feel compelled to share.
I'm just so proud of you. 200 episodes, dude. That's so awesome. It's such a nice big number. It's a nice round number. I really I'm so proud of you. Look at you go.
Are you proud of you?
I'm proud of me.
Good. Anything else you want to share with the listeners, though?
No, ma'am.
No worries. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me very much.
Thanks, Amanda.
Of course. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Manders Mindset. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 200th episode of Manders Mindset. I really hope you enjoyed that episode with Amy. My 2 biggest takeaways from that conversation that Amy mentioned were, 1, just do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, just do it. Number 2, there are people that care. Whether you realize it or whether you believe it, people around care about you. People want you here. There may be days when you don't feel like it. There may be days when you feel like you don't matter in the world. I promise you, you do. And if you were not here, somebody would miss you. I hope you keep that in mind on your more difficult days. And in honor of the 200th episode of Manders Mindset, there is a link in the show notes with a survey. I will be giving away a $25 Amazon gift code and a Manders Mindset t-shirt to one winner who fills out the survey. There are only 4 questions on the survey. The survey is valid until Monday, May 11th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will just give me a little bit of feedback about how you like Manders Mindset and what you like podcasts to look like. It does ask for your name and your email in order for me to reach out for the Manders Mindset t-shirt and a $25 Amazon gift card. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Manders Mindset. And we'll catch you in the next one. In case no one told you today, I'm proud of you. I'm rooting for you. And you got this. As always, if you enjoyed the show, I would really appreciate it if you would leave me a 5-star rating, leave a review, and share it with anyone you think would benefit from this. And don't forget, you are only one mindset shift away from shifting your life. Thanks, guys. Until next time.